Alrighty guys, sorry about this. I'll wait for some more people to come in here, sorry. Chat's right there.
Maybe it's this shit that I'm trying to fix.
Let's see. Yeah, I ended the live stream, guys. I ended it on accident. Pressed the wrong button. That's how my week's going. I'm telling you guys.
So, this one is you want to show, and then you click share screen.
Okay.
And then this one you go back for the chat.
Itzy's trying to explain to me how to use these buttons now. Maybe I'll end it again on accident. Who knows? But that sucked. We had a decent amount of people in there. Hope they all come back. But that's how it goes. But yeah, that pace car is pretty clean, man. It's a lot cleaner than what I thought it was. Because Harold, the guy I bought it from, I don't know what phone he used. Monday's a new day. That is correct, Mr. Krabs. Here we go. Okay. Here's the car. This thing is freaking clean. So like, it really is 1,000 times better than what I thought it was going to be. Mainly because the pictures he sent me were like super blurry. So I don't know what kind of phone he had, but like everything was just so like just hazy, blurry, pixelated, super pixelated. And I kind of just, to be honest with you, I kind of just went off his word and like how he described it, how this car is perfect, this and that. And he did send me like one photo of a ZR1 Corvette he had, and I could see the pace car in the background, and that photo was crystal clear, which was a little weird how one photo was crystal clear and the other one wasn't. But I don't know. I just bought it because I trusted him. How great is the new one? I bought mine with the same deal. Negotiated a bit and bought immediately. Hey Ryan, how you doing, buddy? Yeah, dude, this one is super clean. This one's super nice. It's got 27,000 miles on it. Have you been convinced to go to Meekum yet? Not yet. Haven't been convinced. I'll tell you what's happening this week, though. My dad is going to Las Vegas. Viva Las Vegas. My dad's going to Las Vegas with my mom. My mom surprised them last week. I guess it's like their, I don't know, 35th anniversary or something like that. So last week she bought some tickets, plane tickets for him and her to go to Las Vegas. So he says he's not excited about it because he can't stand to take a day off work. I think they're going Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. So he's not really that excited about it yet because he hates the thought of, like, he's going to be stressed out all this week. Like, he's going to be super stressed out. Oh, I can't leave. We're canceling. But once he gets there, he'll be fine. But, yeah, he's going to Las Vegas this coming weekend. So that'll be fun for him. Anything special motor-wise? Not too much different. So all the pace cars come Z51. These ones do have, I think, 6 more horsepower. So I believe a base C6 is, on those years, 420-ish, if I'm not mistaken. Z51 is 430. And then these ones with this package, whatever they have, is 436. So not much horsepower difference, but enough. Crazy thing about this one, though, is it's 6-speed standard. And he put a short shifter in there and a different clutch. And the clutch is so, like, feathery in the short shifter. So good, like, it'll throw you back in your seat. Like, it'll throw you back. And it has a, I don't know if it's an aftermarket exhaust on it or not, but the exhaust sounds really good. A Pinto station wagon. Huh. That's a unique car to get. Stingray. So yeah, that's the main thing going up is my dad is leaving this weekend. All right. Here's the pace car. Right here. Super cool. I like the green. I like how it says Corvette up there. Again, I couldn't see that in any of the pictures he sent me, so that was a good little surprise. But I don't know, it's definitely a neat car. Not the average person's going to want to buy it, mainly because you're driving around a NASCAR, pretty much. But 27,000 miles on it. Super clean. I walked around it. I was trying to find a scratch, and I really couldn't. And this was out getting the car detailed. I just washed it and then threw it up on our website. I didn't wash it, but I just got your text message right now, Dustin. Take a look at that in a second. Heads up display. Oh, 2 tops. I got both tops to it, see-through and paint matched. I don't really know who, I mean, I know who this is because I read the article, but this is an Indianapolis 500 race winner. He signed all the pace cars inside of it, so like in the glove box. Well, not the glove box, the center console. I think I took a picture of it. Somewhere. I guess I didn't put it in here. I should have. But inside the center console, he signed it and numbered it. So this car is number 164. This Corvette's still in the shop. I haven't even spoke to Chris about this one. This is at Chris's shop getting brakes done. Mainly because I've been trying to push out my red C8 or C6 and Nate's truck. So I've been trying to push those out, so I haven't even jacked with this. My dad bought another Thunderbird, which I actually had, surprisingly, this was Thunderbird Action Week. I had that guy I scared off of my red one from financing it. And I've had 2 people very serious on my white one, both cash deals. So that's cool. Actually, 2 people. Mr. Krabs was looking at this one right here, but we couldn't get to a good deal for either of us. And then I had to scare that guy. I didn't have to. He just, I don't know. I guess he thought I was going to take late payments or something. And when I told him I was going to take late payments, he said he didn't want to buy it. Have a deal working on this truck. Surprisingly, a cash deal on this truck from a guy that lives here locally. And then, let's see. Where is my Lincoln? Here's my Pimp Mobile. And for all the guys tuning in, again, sorry about that. I accidentally ended the live stream, the first live stream. So here is my Pimp ride. So love the headlights. Headlights pop up and down. And this car is so smooth. I mean, it's like literally driving on a cloud. You hit a pothole or speed bump, you barely feel it. You actually don't even feel it. Like the top's awesome. I think Michael was asking about it. Michael, if you're watching, you can see it right here. That's the little dirty part I'm telling you about. There's a better picture of it. But yeah, this thing is awesome. Very, very, very long car. It's like a mattress. It's like a Tempur-Pedic mattress. This seat is probably comfier than my mattress. Yeah, it is. It is nice. And all this is digital, which is cool. AC works, radio works. It did have a very bad fuel smell to it when I first bought it. Actually, just when we unloaded it off the trailer, Nate even said it was leaking fuel or smelled like it. Get it off the trailer, drive it around, immediately smoking from the engine, fuel burning smell. So I got that fixed Saturday. There's a lot of new parts on this car, so it looks like they put a new carburetor on there, new AC compressor, just a lot of fuel pump stuff. But my mobile mechanic that was over there that day, he said that it just wasn't plugged in all the way or clamped down, I guess where fuel squirts into the carburetor. So it was just squirting all over the engine and just burning off. So I got that fixed. Car's been perfect. I drove it this past weekend, last night, on the highway, cruising, owner's manuals, cigarette trays in the back seat, big old trunk. There's the engine. Super clean. I know I need to buy me a fur coat. I need to buy me a fur coat to go with this. Have you ever had a blah, 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 blah. No, I haven't, Mark. I've been trying to buy one for the last couple of years, actually, but I have not been able to get one. How much is the Lincoln? I got this for $13,500 online, but you guys know you're not going to pay the online price, okay? I mean, what's the point of that? What's the point of asking me? We all know I'm gullible. You guys aren't going to buy it for that price. So I make all you guys the best deals I can. This Thunderbird's pretty cool. So reason my dad bought this one is he got into a bidding war with my uncle. So my uncle owns a car dealership in town. He doesn't deal in classic cars. He deals in buy here, pay here cars like this. And so he went over there. My uncle always runs everybody up on bids. And so my dad wanted to play hardball. And he started the bid off on this. And my uncle got in. And my dad just said, you know what? I don't even care. I don't even want the car. But I'm just not going to let his brother, have it. So he ended up buying it just to outbid my uncle. But hopefully this deal goes through on this truck. This would be really cool. So the guy that's interested in this truck actually used to be a car salesman at the dealership across the street from me. And I'm not going to say anything bad about the dealership, but a lot of bad things about that dealership. He came over, man, I'm so glad to get rid of there. Apparently he started his own excavation company. And so apparently he's got some money now. And he is going to buy this thing cash, supposedly. We'll see how that goes. But the thing about it is, it's hard to believe prior salespeople because they're always liars. So we never know. Speaking of Chris, we are at Sunday, 8:30 my time. Chris from Simnet Performance. Anybody that lives semi-close to me needs to use these guys. Well, they don't really take that much outside business, but if you tell them I sent you over, they'll get you in. Just texted me 8:30 on a Sunday saying that he's at the shop working on my '08 Corvette because the parts came in. So let me read what he's saying. And I shot myself in the foot on this deal. Your honesty is so important. Thank you so much. But this honesty is shooting me in the foot. So we're going back to the '08 deal. My '08 Corvette that was supposed to be delivered, wasn't delivered, waiting for part. Chris just sent me this text message. Let's read it. Got everything in. And I also told him there's a noise. There's like a weird noise coming from the rear end. I don't know if it was from the cable, this, that, what have you. But I want to make it right for the guy. He said, got everything in. Differential is making the noise. Nothing crazy. Shifters in, cables in, knobs on it. Seems like they bypass that solenoid because it stays engaged, goes in gear perfect. But when you turn the vehicle off, it doesn't want to lock the shifter. Working on that right now. Okay. So he's at 8:30 Sunday working on this stuff. It's hard to find mechanics like that. Okay, awesome. Awesome. Just making nothing crazy. Oh. So how do we fix that? So the point of this is now I have a differential problem that I'm going to have to fix, and it's going to obviously be a lot more money. This job right here, just the shifter cable by itself, is going to run me probably about $1,000, $1,000 to $1,200. And so I wasn't expecting that when I negotiated the car with Eddie, who's buying it, and I gave him a pretty good discount off the car, of course, but wasn't accounting for this big repair. Now I'm gonna have to do something with the differential, so it's gonna be another repair. So I'm not gonna be making nearly the money I thought I was on the C6. And on the C6s, I kind of want to hold a little strong at least, because they're getting hard for me to buy in the money. Like I can buy them, but if you watch my live streams, you see what they're selling for, base models. You saw, I think it was this week or the week before, you saw an 07 base model, I mean 1 LT with like, I forget the miles on it, but it sold for like 24 grand, 24.5 wholesale. I think it had like 40,000 miles on it, which was crazy. So you see how hard it is for me to buy these cars right now. So how do we fix the diff? Sorry, just replying to Chris. Alright, you're after a 2014 or 2015 Z28 LS7. Like a Camaro? So hopefully this guy comes in cash on this F250. Alright, let's look this up. This guy messaged me right before the live stream saying he's got an 07 he has an 07 ZRX Super Vet 07. It's kind of like a kit, modification kit. So let's type it in, ZR6X. All right, here we go. It's just like a wide body kit. So it's probably about a $6,000 kit. Alright, so I said, looks nice, very cool kit. How many miles, engine mods? And he says, I'm on the muffler, resonator, retractable hard wing, then the paint. It's completely restored. So I'm kind of confused. He says it's almost completely rebuilt. Then he says it is rebuilt. Then he says he's on the wing and resonator, then paint. So I'm not extremely sure what that means. It says I'm asking around 100,000 after completion. The motor and trans has been rebuilt as well, pushing about 700 horsepower. Just the rims and calipers installed, new tires. We'll talk soon, bro. Nice YouTube video. Keep up the good work. Car's almost complete. Restored 22-inch rims. Wired body kit, Ferrari Mosmos lighting. Been in question, been around vets 20 years. Yeah. Tell me about it. So I think he is about probably 80,000 overpriced, personally. But let's see. I could be wrong. Maybe it's the market just itself. Could be because it's yeah, sports cars. That prices on sports cars are definitely higher because it's summer. Because now everybody in the northern America, northeast, can actually drive their car now. The snow's almost completely melted by now, so now cars are coming out of the storage and getting driven in car shows, and people want to drive cars. So market's definitely picked up on that. How many did Dad really get behind the scenes with Nate? How mad did Dad? He seemed. He was more confused. So I mean, when I make those videos, I'm actually recording like majority of it. So like when I'm editing the videos, I got like hours of footage to try to cut it down. So I recorded most of it. He was just really kind of confused because he couldn't he couldn't understand, and I even left some of it in the video, but he really couldn't understand where the truck even came from, even though I told him where it came from. So he was just really confused, and then that we sold it, the same deal, and he was shocked, confused, and stunned. That was his reaction. But yeah, I think we're on the same page here, Dustin. Let's see. Let's go good old Corvette forum. See what they say about it. Wait, supervised for the last few days. I'm about to commence to get me a base C6 and do the one body kit. Okay, that's just blah 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 blah. Yeah, 100,000 seems, I mean, extremely unrealistic. Let's see if we can see any for sale. Okay, here's one right here. 2006 Corvette 06 Stones Frankenstein with a supercharger on it, built 50,000, which it's probably still too much money. $63,000 miles, definitely way too much money. So yeah, I think he is pretty far off on his price. And then I had a guy, I don't know if he got mad at me. He watches our YouTube. His name's Gary. He has a 55 Chevrolet Bel Air that is, he wanted to sell. He's thinking about selling it and reached out to me. And one, that's not really my cup of tea of a car. Not my favorite kind of car. Personally, not a big fan of the 55s, 56, 57 Bel Airs. I do know that they're semi-popular. It is fading, by the way. Popularity is fading on those cars. But he wanted $40,000 for it. And it's not like it's restored. It's not a resto mod. Still a 350 engine in it. Does have vintage air, power steering, power brakes. The exterior was white. It was a good car. Just a nice white paint job. Interior was the best part. It had some kind of update-ish seats to it. Wanted $40,000 for it. And I said, man, I don't really sell those cars. In my head, wholesale $25,000 car, personally. And so I already had that in my head, that even I don't even want the car really, because that's just not the kind of car I sell or want to buy right now, I guess I should say. And so we had the classic car auction Wednesday, and they had all those Bel Airs running through there. So I said, well, before I even say anything about price, Gary, let me go to this auction and see what these cars sell for. So one sold for, they had three. They had a 55, 57, and 58, I believe. 57 and 55 sold for, like, one sold for 25,000, another one sold for 27,000. The 58 sold for 31,000. All restored. The 58 was probably the closest comparison to his car, so for around 31,000. So I just texted him a picture of the cars and what they sold for. I said, hey, this is what the cars sold for at the auction. I didn't offer a price or anything. I just said, these are what the cars sold for at auction. And he said something like, it's a $50,000 car. I'm going to take it to Street Side Classics in Fort Worth, San Marcos. Thanks anyways, like your commercials on a little too. And so I guess he thought he was giving me a $10,000 break on the car, which I appreciate the thought, of course, and I appreciate you reaching out to me. But I don't know, I just kind of felt like I was making him an offer on it of like that price, but I wouldn't even have been at that price. It's funny how much people want when they sell something, then they want a deal when buying. Yeah, that's always how it goes. You want whenever you're buying something, you want to buy it as cheap as possible. Whenever you're selling something, you want to get as much money out of it. Send you a Corvette for sale link, but don't know if you want it for the price. It looks really clean. That's why I sent. Let me take a look at it. We got a 2002 Corvette convertible, Craigslist, 17.9, easymotorcars.com. I guess that's a dealership. Here's a good looking ride. Check out the setting, blah, 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 blah. Well, it's got 75,000 miles on it. Yeah, that is from a dealership. And they're definitely asking prime money for it. But that car is super clean. The problem with the C5s is that there's just very, very little financing on it. Oh, and another story, another problem I had this past week is, speaking of financing, that's right, it reminded me. There's not very many banks that will finance a loan on a C5 Corvette or classic car in general. There is one here in South Texas that will, and they're super, I wouldn't say easy to do business with. The customer has to have really good credit, and they'll put a deal together. The downside is that they take forever to pay me. So they take like 20 days to pay me. So I'll sell a car to somebody, say July 1st. I won't get paid till like July 20th. They just take really long time to pay. Well, you guys remember me selling that 76 Corvette one owner? And again, I don't really deal with collecting the payments into the business that much. I mean, I still know what's going on, but it's not like every day I'm actively like, did we get a check in for this? Did we get a payment in on this? Well, I don't know. I just randomly thought about it the last couple of ways. I started asking, did we ever get paid on that 76 Corvette from the bank? Oh, I don't think so. I don't think so. Well, don't you guys, it's been like it's been over a month. It's been like a month and a half since we sold the car. I said, don't you think you guys should have checked on it? And so I ended up calling the bank, and then there's a problem with the bank that they couldn't verify this and that. And so a problem that should have been handled weeks ago that nobody noticed, I had to find out that we were still missing, $25,000 that the bank hasn't sent us. And so finally got that all worked out. So now they're sending us the check, hopefully here soon. So, but yeah, that's the problem when it comes to like these C5s, C4s, C3s, and older cars, is financing is the hard part of them. So when you buy a C5, or when I buy a C5, I have to buy it knowing that 90% of the time I will have to finance the car myself to somebody locally, or somebody pays cash for it. Will, has your dad ever done a raffle for a Corvette? Back in the day, he did. He said he did partnered with a radio station, and they raffled off a Corvette back in the day. Who does the books? It's a good question. It's a good question there, Dustin. So Itzy takes all the payments. My mom does all the title work. I sell the cars, deal with most of the problems. My dad buys the cars, also deals with problems and repos and the finance company for the other business. And so when it comes to payments like that, like with this bank, so what this bank does, somebody goes applies with the bank, they will email me a pre-approval letter guaranteeing funds. They're approved up to this amount. As long as you put us as a lien holder, we will release the check to you. And so the approval letter is good. I mean, it's guaranteed. So, but they will only pay you after you transfer the title and tags and taxes, put them as lien holder. And then it goes into like a dark period. Like you can't really communicate with the bank. They won't give you any information. And so they just you don't know when you're actually supposed to get the check. They'll just send it to you whenever, pretty much. But it's always about a month. It's always about a month wait. Well, a lot of things happen in a month. People forget. People just expect it to come in. So it's just kind of one of those things. Will the check get in? No. Okay, well, we'll wait for it next week. Then we'll wait for it next week. And then you can just you just expect it coming in. Well, it got too far to a point where I was like, hey, did we get that money in yet? And they're like, no. Well, why hasn't anybody checked on it? So Itzy handles all the car payments for our finance company. She handles all that. My mom does the title work. So where does that really fall on who's in charge of keeping track? I guess me, maybe? I don't know. It shouldn't be my job, but I guess it's me. When it all boils down to it, probably me. But getting back to raffling, I would like to give away a car instead of just raffling one. Like not a Corvette or something, but like a cheaper car. I can't raffle a car anyways. It has to go through like a charity these days. Top down. Awesome. Glad you enjoyed the vet. Hope it was some good weather over there. Hope it was some decent weather out here today. So, I love the C4 convertibles. I think they're a great looking car. But yet the laws for raffling cars now, from what I can tell, is one, you have to do it through a charity. One. And two, you have to make it free. So like whenever you see these car raffles or anything like that, it has to be a non-purchase deal. So like if Gas Monkey gives out a car, it says buy a t-shirt, you get 25x points or 30x points. But in the fine description it says you don't need to register or buy anything, just register an account for free. So it has to be for free. You can't really sell tickets. You can't really make somebody buy an item. So in the end, it's still free. So there's a lot of legal stuff to get around to it. Hot. It's going to get hotter. It's going to get hotter down there in Florida and Texas. Summer's just kicking up. Summer's just kicking up.
She beat me up.
Yeah. So I was wanting a Corvette for the price of a ticket. Maybe one of these days I'll figure out how to raffle off a Corvette for free. So like what you'd have to do is I'd have to set up like an email or like this. So we do sell t-shirts. I say sell. I give them away pretty much. I don't remember. So like the t-shirt I'm wearing and all the other t-shirts that I have, we do sell them like here. Which by the way, I was going to tell you that these prices on some of these t-shirts are wrong. Like there's like this one, the neon one. It's in here for $15. But anyways, so there should be a spot if I was going to raffle off a car, I would have to force you guys to go to this website, and you would, well, I guess it'd be right here. So you go to the website like, okay, no purchase necessary, right? So you'd come over here, fill this out, send that in, and then you're automatically registered for one entry into my car. But if you want 25 times tickets for per t-shirt or per dollar spent. So you buy a t-shirt, you get 25 entries. So that's the way to get around it, I guess. I have to do some more research, but I would like to do that. That'd be pretty cool. That would be pretty cool. Do you ever wholesale at auction? I got a YouTube video coming out, hopefully. I was supposed to have a YouTube video coming out today, but my younger cousin just graduated college, and he came by the dealership last week saying he was looking for a little bit of work, graduated college in graphic design. I was like, oh, that's cool, man. I was like, do you know how to use this video editing software? You know how to do this? He's like, oh, man, that's what I went to school for. So I said, well, I actually have like 3 unedited YouTube videos that I was going to edit this weekend and post. Is that something you maybe want to try out and then make some shorts out of it? Like the reels, the shorts. And he's like, oh yeah, I can do that easily. I was like, I just want to let you know, I can do it easily and I can do it very quick. But every other person I've tried to do this always complains about how much footage there is and how time consuming it is. So I don't want to hear that because I've been doing it myself since we've started making the videos. So I know how much time it actually takes. At least for me. It doesn't take very long. And I'm also doing it on a full-time job. Well, I texted him yesterday. I said, hey man, do you get any of those videos done? Oh, Bobby, just trust me, I'm grinding it out. But there's just so much footage to go through. I was like, I know, man, I told you. So, I don't know when I'll have my YouTube videos done because he has my files for all of them. But in one of those videos, I am wholesaling a car. So, I do wholesale cars time to time. Mainly cars that are just like not cars I deal with, or cars I've had for a bit, or cars I don't want to look at anymore. We do wholesale a lot in our other car dealership that's at the same place, Get Smart Auto. It's repos. A lot of the times repos come back in that really trashed out or have a lot of problems with them. We send those to auctions and take a big old loss a lot of the times. So we don't really make money on those. But the ones I wholesale for Stingrayalley is, what's it mean to wholesale a car? Wholesaling is mean I take a car and sell it to another car dealer or to an auction. Or take a car to an auction and sell it to another car dealer. So I don't sell it to the public. But yeah, I wholesale. This year I've wholesaled. Again, I wholesale lots of cars every week for our buy here, pay here business, repos and stuff like that. We don't make money on those. Those are like losers. Those are cars that people owe us like $5,000, $6,000, $7,000. And I'm selling them for like $2,000, $2,500. Sometimes 1,000, 500. I think we just sold one the other day where we got a check for $50 because we sold the car for like $300 and the fee was $200, and then we had to transport it. And then you're probably in your head, well, why do you do that? Because these cars are come back so jacked up that you can't sell them to the public. Nice to give my cousin a chance. Yeah, we'll see how he does. He already messed up one day. Not being able to post a YouTube video today. So we'll see. It better be some good videos. Tea. Do you sell manufacturer buybacks? I'm gonna go with no, because I don't deal with new cars. So don't really have that issue or run into that issue. But yeah, that's kind of what last week's got going on this week. My dad's going to be freaking out about Vegas, so I'm sure he's going to want to try to get everything lined up, even though nothing's really changing, I guess. So he'll just be freaked out all week about that. I don't think I have any more cars coming in that I have bought. So I got all the cars in from gathered out. Oh, two customers should be getting their cars soon. So I'm hopefully my dad, I'm reading your comment, Will. Okay, camera to your dad in Vegas. Oh, he'll be going crazy at the craps table, screaming and hollering. But my '08 Corvette should be mechanically done and delivered to my buddy Eddie in Houston. So C6 should get delivered. Rick sold my anniversary Corvette too, my '03 50th anniversary. He should be getting delivery of his car here tomorrow or the next day. And I know he's been getting really worried about that. He's been getting really worried about his car, actually, because it's taken so long to get shipped out to him. Mainly because when you're buying cars across the country, it's not like I can just click a button like, okay, your car's shipped, it's already left and gone. Somebody has to accept the order. So I made an order on June 16th to get my car picked up from my dealership to go to Michigan. Ordered it June 16th, paid for it June 16th. They didn't pick the car up. Nobody even accepted the order till June 25th. And then they picked it up June 26th or June 27th. So it took them like 10 days just to accept an order. Even though I paid for it 10 days ago, 10 days prior. Well, thank you, thank you. I try to be as honest as I can. It's just, I don't know, I just never, because in the kind of line of work that me and my dad do, up until the last couple of years, so my dad used to sell nothing but Corvettes, used to sell nothing but classics, like that was all. And then he got into selling regular cars that we take payments on, buy here, pay here, people with bad credit, we finance them ourselves. And got away from the sports cars because there's not that much money selling these Corvettes, to be honest with you. I mean, there's just not. You make more money buy here, pay here cars because you collect interest and payments and this and that. It's a whole nother topic. But in the buy here, pay here business, if you want a successful one, you can't really be a hard salesperson because your business is not selling cars. It is financing, interest. You're a finance company, you're making loans on cars. So yes, you are selling cars, but your business is financing. So one, you want to have the best quality cars you can, because in the back of your head, even though you're selling these cars as is, you know the customers are going to complain. You know the customers are going to call you crying about when something breaks, even though it's as is. Even though they've had it for a year and can't pay for a tow truck, they're calling you. They're not calling their friend. They're not calling their brother. They're not calling their mom. They're calling you for all their little problems. So you don't really want to pressure somebody into buying something, because then you're just going to deal with the repercussion of collecting the payments every month. You don't want to have to hide issues, because the issues are obviously going to pop up and you're still going to have to see them every month. So I guess that's where the honesty comes in, is you have to be, because if you're not, you have to see these people every month and you hear their problems every month. Now, that being said, there are a lot of buy here, pay here dealerships that do scam, and I wouldn't say scam, but do sell shady stuff just to collect the down payment to repo it the next month. Now they got half their costs back, and now they can just do it again, and then they do it 2 or 3 times. They get their cost out of the car, send the car to auction, that's their profit. So there's different ways you can go about it, I guess. But the point of that being said is, since we're already used to being like that, when we sell these Corvettes or classics and stuff like that, we don't need to pressure anybody. I don't like to pressure anybody to buy a car. If the deal makes sense to you and the deal makes sense to me, we can make it happen. That's how I like to sell cars. If it doesn't make sense to you, don't buy it. If it doesn't make sense to me, I can't do the deal. I don't want to put you in a bad situation, and I don't want to be in a bad situation. So I just want everything to be copacetic. But things do go awry, repairs do happen, cars do break, but we try to do as best as we can to take care of it. Still waiting to see a Tesla on the lot. I am actively looking into the Tesla market. I am. I can say with certainty we probably will have a Tesla by the end of the year. Just to try it out. Just to try it out. How long have those 2 motorcycles been sitting in the showroom? Get the Y. The Y is pretty cool. The Y is pretty cool. How long have those 2 motorcycles been sitting in the showroom? I need to get rid of those freaking motorcycles. I think I've had that black one for 5 or 6 years. It wasn't in the showroom. So my dad bought that black 100th anniversary to ride. He buys these, all the motorcycles we've had, he buys them thinking he's going to ride them. And then he never rides them. So he bought that black one like 6 years ago, maybe rode it around a couple times, parked it in the garage we have in the back of the dealership, parked it back there for like a year or 2. Then my brother started riding it. Then they parked it in the showroom. Then we bought the other 08 1200 Sportster because he's like, well, I got my bike. And at that point, we had 3 Harleys. We had a red one, that black one. You guys haven't seen the red one. Which that guy still owes me money on it, by the way. And that's a whole nother story about buy here, pay here customers. And we bought that Sportster 1200 for me because it's a good little size bike that's easy to ride. Had 400 miles on it. Bought that maybe 3-4 years ago. I think it has 460 miles on it now. Bought it with 400. I think my brother put 50 of those miles on it. I don't even know if I put 10 miles on the thing. Probably 2 miles. And that's just been sitting in the showroom ever since. I just don't have time. We don't have time to ride them. And so they sit there. I don't advertise them that much because 1, I don't want to take payments on them. 2, it's hard to sell motorcycles because somebody wants to test drive them, and then you don't want them to test drive it because you don't know if they actually know how to ride it, then they crash it. It's just not a good... They're very hard to sell. But yeah, they've been there for a while. My dad they're expensive decoration pieces. Pops 305, what's up, man? How you doing? All around best model is Y. Well, see, that's some good information. I don't know what the best... That's the thing I'm learning about Teslas is the models. There's different models, obviously, but then there's submodels. There's long range. Then there's just different packages. And then I don't know what's transferable. And then there's a tax credit, the EV tax credit. So I need to learn more about that. I think that's only for like $25,000 or less. But then it's also if it hasn't been used on that car, or I don't know if it's the person that hasn't used it yet. So there's some tricky stuff to learn about those cars. What is wholesale price on both bikes? I don't know, to be honest with you, off the top of my head. I know what I paid for them. I don't know if I overpaid or not. Well, actually, on the black one, I don't remember what we paid for it. It's been so long. I really don't. I don't know how much we paid for that black one. Wholesale value on the bikes, I mean, I don't know. I think if I send them to an auction or something, it'd probably bring like $5,000 maybe, 4,500, 5,000, 5,500, somewhere around there. I think we paid more for the black one though. Probably. It's been so long since we've had the black one. I don't remember. But yeah, motorcycles are not the best thing. And the thing about them, everybody wants to trade them into me because Harleys and Corvettes go hand in hand, right? Harleys are Corvettes on 2 wheels. Corvettes are Harleys for 4 wheels. So guys that want Corvettes, they're usually getting rid of their Harleys and going to Corvette. So they always want to trade them in. And then, I just told you guys, they're very hard to sell. So I don't like to take them on trade. But other than that, try to get those Corvettes delivered. Hopefully my buddy Rick gets his Corvette. Hopefully tomorrow. I know he's really excited about it. But July 1st. July 4th is Friday. So my dad's going to Las Vegas. He wants to know if I'm going to close up or not. I don't know. I don't like closing one day and then being open the next day. So like July 4th, Friday. I'd hate to be closed Friday and then open back up Saturday, then be closed Sunday again. Like it just doesn't, just like stop, go. It doesn't feel right. My grandpa had a junkyard. A guy test drove 3 motorcycles, got his head cut off on a barbed wire fence. Parents sued the junkyard for some, but they ended up losing the court case. Wow, that is a crazy story. That is a crazy story right there. Test drove a 3-wheel motorcycle. Man. I can't even imagine that. Watching somebody take off on a test drive and their head gets chopped off. That is crazy. Viva Las Wagers. Yeah, for real. My dad said about 25 years ago, he used to go to Vegas once a month. And he had gambled, $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 and lose it all every month, almost. He had a lot of money back in the day. He was a big baller back then. Close for 3 days and go have fun. Well, that's the problem I have, Ed, is I don't know what to do for fun. Besides be at the dealership. That's all I know how to do. It's all I know how to do. But yeah, I bought a 75 Corvette that got delivered. Got to take that to the shop. Well, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna? That's only gonna be about a minute. I got the rest of the day. It's gonna be about a minute or less. Your grandpa being an excellent car salesman. Yeah, my grandpa. He never owned a dealership, but he was in Texas. There's a huge magazine in Texas called Texas Monthly, and when he died, they made a whole kind of page article about him as being one of the best car salespeople in Texas. I heard a lot of stories that he was a hustler, but you're talking about real old school salespeople. I mean, you're talking about cons, lies, switching around. That's how they all were back in the day. But yeah, he said that there's people that still, I mean, come up and say, "Oh, your grandpa, I used to work with him at this." I mean, he's a legend. He's a legend. We're playing all day, 10 minutes longer, of course. Two pump chump. Yep. And a Tesla. I'm trying to catch up on these messages. But yeah, Will. I'll look up some more Teslas and get into that. Have you ever driven 129 Tail of the Dragon? Loads for play. But yeah, try to get my 75 in the shop this week. I sold that car maybe 4 months ago to my buddy Jeremy. He found speaking of motorcycles, he wanted to buy a Harley, so he sold me his bike to buy a Harley or something. And so it's got something going on with the steering, so I'm gonna send that to the shop. Hopefully nothing too major. Get that worked out. Can't sell it the way it is right now. But that's gonna be a cool C3 for around 15,000 or less. Nice little blue color. But other than that, are you running a 4th of July sales event? Maybe I will. I priced my cars pretty cheap comparably to the market. So it's hard to put sales on my stuff. Like right here. This is the back side of my website. This isn't my website. This is the behind the scenes look. So it shows me like the average price for these cars so this is taking every car listed on for sale and averaging the prices for the comparable models. So like a Thunderbird, average price $15,689. Got mine for sale $14,900. Average price of a pace car $34,995. Which I think that price is off, to be honest with you. My price, to be honest with you, is a little on the higher side. Just to be honest with you guys. But it's just going to be hard to replace it. So it's hard to make a sale when my cars are priced pretty aggressive. But as always, I always negotiate with people. I want to get you guys comfortable deals. But the old school tent sales, it's so windy in my city that tent will fly away. Ever seen these used cars? Kurt Russell, that'd be a good Grandpa's Era, funny movie. That would be exactly my Grandpa's Era in the beginning of my dad's era. But yeah, I have seen it. I do love that movie. It's a good movie. Do an all-day stream tent sale 4th of July. That would be a good idea. Do some good in real life streams. That would be pretty cool. Itsy handles all that. No, we don't. We don't have any billboards. We don't have any billboards. So Itsy's the one that handles all these live streams, as you guys can find out, since I accidentally ended that earlier live stream. I'm not equipped to run all this stuff. So Itsy learns all that, and she has talked about wanting to do live streams during the day as well. I'm in your dad's era, 55 years now. Awesome. Yeah, my dad's 68, so he still's got you beat. GoPro. Yeah, so from what I realize, or from what I can gather, again, she handles all that. The hard part is hard part. There's a way, obviously, to do it. Is say you put a GoPro here, what have you. You still need that GoPro connected to something to upload it constantly. So it needs to be connected to your phone or through another device to push it out. So you need it takes like 3 devices to make a real life live stream. So like right now, we have to. The only way for me to go live, it's not like I'm using my camera, but it's not like I can pick up my camera and go down outside because the camera has to be hooked up through my laptop because the laptop's what's pushing it to YouTube right now. So you have to use something. If you're going to do it like, streaming in real life, you have to have something to push it out to YouTube. I don't know what it is. I leave all that stuff up to Itzy. Because you guys know I'm not that smart with this stuff. But I think that's going to wrap up tonight's live stream. We got some food coming in. Got to get rested up and start the rest of the week. So appreciate you guys tuning in as always. And if any of you guys are selling any cars, if you guys know somebody selling some cars, send them my way. Yeah, Itzy's not her. Itzy is half her name. Get that Tesla. We'll see. Hopefully they got some good cars at auction. That's how you spell Itzy. Yeah, so we will be live streaming for sure Wednesday, as always. We'll be live streaming probably about 10 o'clock Wednesday, Central Time, in the morning, obviously. So we'll go into live auction. Hopefully they have some cars. And yeah, thank you, Ed. I hope you guys have a great rest of the week. And hopefully my week's better. Itzy's so cool name. Her real name's Itzy actually. But anyways, y'all take care. See you guys Wednesday, and I will be posting a YouTube video later this week. So thank you guys as always. Have a great